Today I wanted to get on here and share with you just a few of my favorite things that I use with my chickens. All of the girls are very, very excited to introduce you to black soldier fly larvae. Now, if you're like me, many years raising chickens, I always heard a lot about mealworms for the chickens. The girls love it. I always used to hear a lot about mealworms for chickens, but it wasn't until the last few years that I started hearing a lot more about black soldier fly larvae. To be perfectly honest, it wasn't until Grub Terra recently sent me this 1-pound bag of black soldier fly larvae that I learned how healthy they are for my chickens, which is awesome because chickens absolutely love them and they're good for them. They have 75% more calcium than mealworms do, which is huge because calcium is so important for healthy bones and healthy feathers and, of course, nice hard eggshells. If you find that your chickens have soft eggshells that crack too easily, that's a sign that your chickens are calcium deficient. They need some more calcium, and this is an excellent way to supplement that for your chickens. The awesome thing about specifically Grub Terra's black soldier fly larvae is that they produce these larvae for your chickens to eat. They produce it by feeding the flies food waste. So for each pound of black soldier fly larvae that you feed your chickens, that equals 20 pounds of food waste that would have ended up in landfills, which is so cool. My next absolute favorite thing for my chickens are these little cotton sachet bags that are filled with sulfur powder. Now, in my opinion and personal experience, if you own chickens for any length of time, you are more likely than not going to encounter a fight with chicken bugs. In my personal humble opinion, chicken bugs are one of the worst parts about having chickens. Actually, to me, I think chicken bugs are the worst part of having chickens. Chickens can get mites and lice, and there's different kinds, and it's just all bad. And sometimes if your chickens get bugs and then you handle your chickens, the bugs will end up on you, and then you get the creepy crawlies, in addition to the fact that they're horrible for the chicken's health, and they can actually kill your chickens if they are left untreated for too long. So it's very important to make sure that you keep the bugs under control. This is the easiest, hands down, absolutely the easiest way that I have found to deal with that issue. Now, these little bags, this is sulfur powder inside this little cotton sachet bag. I just got these really cheap little, I think it's like 3 by 4 inch bags. Little cotton sachet. They're a mesh bag, but I think somebody suggested using a sock, and I imagine a sock would probably work. The point is, you hang this up in a high traffic area where the chickens have to brush up against it during their day. Now, I chose to hang it in the opening of their automatic doorway so that they have to brush up against it when they go in and out during the day. And it hangs down, and every time the chickens touch it, a little tiny bit of sulfur powder comes out of the bag and brushes onto their feathers, and that just kills the bugs. I mean, seriously, within hours you will notice a difference. It is I have tried everything. I have tried it all. I have tried the dips, I have tried the powders, I have tried the neem oil, I have tried everything, and this is absolutely the easiest way. Please do your own research. I'm not an expert, that's just my own personal opinion, but perfectly safe as far as I know, and it works. It works so good. This is absolutely one of the biggest game changers in chicken keeping. I am not even kidding you. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about today is actually not related to chicken care, but to egg preservation, and that is hydrated lime. Hydrated lime is used in a process that's called water glassing. When you drop eggs, clean, fresh eggs in a solution of water mixed with hydrated lime, it keeps your eggs fresh for a year or longer. And I've done it, I've tried it out. The only difference that I noticed when I did finally use the eggs was that a lot of the yolks were really runny. A lot of the yolks were no longer like intact yolks. They were just kind of runny in with the rest of the egg. But if you're just using them for baking or something, totally good. Mix the 1 ounce of hydrated lime powder in with 1 quart of clean filtered water, and pour that into a clean food safe container that you can seal. So you want it to be airtight so you don't get dirt and stuff in there. And then you want to take your eggs, and they need to be fresh. You want fresh, like, you know, collected that day or the day before or something like that. You want really clean eggs. Save the dirty ones to eat. Don't use those for this. But be sure, do not wash the eggs. The eggs cannot be washed. They have to have the bloom still on them. And you gently, carefully drop the eggs into the water with hydrated lime and seal them up, and then use them as you need them. So I have been working on preserving a bunch of eggs. I am using a food safe 5-gallon bucket, which I'm not convinced is the right plan. I think the eggs on the bottom are gonna end up getting crushed at some point, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I am using a food safe 5-gallon bucket. I see a lot of people using mason jars, which I think is a great idea. Probably better than the 5-gallon bucket, and probably what I'll try in the future. But yeah, those are some of my favorite chicken things, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.